These are the parts I'm going to be using today to do this job. Front rotors and front pads. These are the tools I'm going to be using today to do this job. A 17 and a 14 millimeter wrench, 8 millimeter wrench, 3/8 cordless ratchet, 17 millimeter socket, 14 millimeter socket, a vice grip, 2 different flat tip screwdrivers, rubber mallet, a blowgun, caliper piston compressor, hood prop, ceramic grease, anti-seize, brake clean, a bottle of water with a hole on the top, and my brake flusher. Okay, removing this rubber cap. I'm going to be loosening this bleeder screw while the caliper is still mounted on the car. Removing this caliper, there's 2 bolts, one here and one here. Removing these clips. Removing the pads. Removing the caliper mount. There's 2 bolts, one here and one here. Removing the rotor. So I'm going to be compressing these pistons using my piston compressor. Opening up my bleeder screw. So now when I compress the piston, all that dirty brake fluid is coming out. So now lock it up. So I'm going to be lubricating these pins, taking them apart. Cleaning up my pins. Putting some grease in my caliper mount. Greasing up my pins. Putting some grease right on top of my shims. I'm going to be reusing the old shims. These shims look good. If your shims are damaged, there's new shims in the hardware kit. Putting some anti-seize around my hub. Cleaning up my rotor. Shooting them down with some brake clean in case there's any grease. Putting on the rotor. So putting on 2 nuts. That's to hold the rotor against the hub so it doesn't wobble. Putting on my caliper mount. So I'm going to be transferring these clips to the new pad. This one I can transfer it. It's not broken or worn out. This one is just worn out. Been rubbing the rotor. So I'm going to be putting a new one from the hardware. Okay. So this rotor is spinning clockwise. So this clip, I'm putting it on the leading edge. This is the one that's gonna be first. Putting some grease in the back of this pad. Putting some grease on my caliper. So I put my clips on, putting on the caliper. So the pin is spinning, so I'm going to be grabbing the pin with a vice grip. So I put my vice grip on and I'm holding the inside of the pin. Now we're going to bleed the brakes. Hooking up my brake flusher to the master cylinder. Now we're going to bleed the wheels. Open up my bleeder screw. And let the fluid come out until it's clean. Once it's clean, then lock them out. So I'm going to be shooting some water on my bleeder screw, neutralizing the brake fluid, because brake fluid is water soluble, blowing them down with air. Now I'm going to pressurize the system and check for leaks. Starting up the car, step the brake, pump it up and down slowly, no more than halfway until you feel pressure. Now I feel pressure. So with my hood prop, I'm going to be putting one side against the brake pedal and the other side against the seat. Hold on for about 15-20 seconds and now check for leaks. Checking for leaks, everything looks real dry, then you're good to go. Don't forget to put on your rubber cap. So that's how you replace front pads and front rotors. Don't forget to subscribe. Give me a thumbs up and I see you in the next video. Aloha.